Hello, everybody. Again, welcome to our video game podcast, where we're going to talk about video game news. Oh yeah, go for it. So here's what happened. I was supposed to prep for 2 podcasts, and I only prepped for 1. So I'm going to look up a list of all the announcements that happened at Gamescom opening night live, which is the matter of discussion today.
Yeah. You actually start this podcast off too, though, so we'll wait for a second. But you have to tell us about your 3 months in music since the last time we
in
music in video games.
I'll tell you everything you want to know about music.
Oh shit!
You want my last 3 months?
No. I'm just kidding. Give us your last week in music.
Yeah. You said music again. We're not talking about music. We're talking about video games.
Music is. We just did music. We're moving on.
So the game I've been playing most recently is Spyro the Dragon.
I can see.
I grew up. Well, I have a fun little story about that. I actually let me. So I grew up with Spyro. And when people say they grew up with Spyro, they mean the first 3. Insomniac Games, the people who made Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank, they made the original 3 Spyro games. And then other people tried to make Spyro games. Do you know what Skylanders is? That's what Spyro became for a few years for some reason. And what I did was I played the remake. The Spyro Reignited trilogy, similar to the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, is a 1-to-1 remake. There's no reason to play the originals if you have the Reignited trilogy. It's so much so a 1-to-1 remake that if you were to like boundary break and move the camera around, the code for the original Spyro games are like underneath. Like you're playing the old ones you're playing the new ones, just so it can be like so very like 1-to-1 on how you control it. They go the extra mile. In Spyro 1, all the gems were different colors for different denominations, and then they sort of like figured out what they wanted to do with that, and then every Spyro game after that it was like red rubies are 1, green rubies are 2. They kept that shit in. Like the Spyro 1 in Spyro 1 remake, the gems are different colors, even though they could have very easily just like fixed that. So these games have been like preserved, right? So what I finished playing through was that. I played all 3 on the Reignited trilogy. I've played Spyro 1, 2, and 3 probably 4 or 5 times each. This is my second time going through the Reignited trilogy. And for the first time at the end of me playing it, I found myself saying like, okay, well, I know they're not as good, but there's other Spyro games. Let me see how many I have. So here's what's up, right? Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Spyro 3. They all have their own names. Forget about it. After that, there was 2 Game Boy Advance games. One of them is Season of the Ice. I happen to have that video game. I don't know why. I never bought it, but I own it.
Okay.
Season of Ice has a direct sequel called Season of Flame, which I do not have. And then we have Enter the Dragonfly, which is essentially Spyro 4. No one calls it that, but that's essentially what it is. It's the 4th main entry Spyro game. It came out on GameCube and PS2, and it's bad. No one likes it. But I have that game too. Then there was one more Game Boy Advance game, and then there was Spyro 5, essentially, which is called Spyro's A Hero's Tale. I also have that in that stack.
Okay.
Then from there, we get to... So Spyro, this is what I wanted to talk about, because I don't want to talk about how good Spyro is, because it's good. Everyone knows that. Spyro has 5 eras. There's the original era, which is the first 3. There's the new era, the 5th era, the one we're in right now, which is the Reignited trilogy, and a big question mark on my face. Who knows what happens next for Spyro? That's the one we're living in right now. The second era is the who has the rights, we don't really know what we're doing era. That's where the shitty GameCube one came from. That's where all the dope Game Boy Advance ones came from. And then the 4th era is Skylanders. We don't talk about Skylanders, so much so that the Wikipedia article for Spyro doesn't even mention Skylanders once.
Skylanders was huge too. They went so hard in the like figures and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Skylander.
Yeah, they completely projected the like toys to life format into the next generation. But the fact that Spyro was involved had almost nothing to do with the, any of it.
Yeah.
And then the third era is the reboot era, where 3 games called The Legend of Spyro came out. The Legend of Spyro A New Beginning, The Legend of Spyro Eternal Night, and The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. And it's 3 games, except I just found out it's absolutely not 3 games, it's 5 games, because Spyro A New Beginning has a Game Boy Advanced version and a Nintendo DS version.
Oh, wow.
All 3 versions are different. And then Spyro Eternal Night also has a DS version. But right in between Era 2 and Era 3, there's one Spyro game that I did not know about that I'm finding out about now. It's called Spyro Shadow Legacy. It's a Nintendo DS game, and it's not a top-down platformer. It's not an isometric platformer. It's a role-playing game. It's a action RPG like God of War, where you gain experience points and turn those experience points into more moves, and there's like a very in-depth story mode. I've never heard of it. I want it. It probably sucks, but like,
I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me.
But it's a Nintendo DS game.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to draw
right.
all the moves probably, or some dumb shit. I didn't know and literally on the Wikipedia page there's a big gap where they could talk about Skylanders, but they just don't. Also, Spyro, voiced by Tom Kenny, voice of SpongeBob. In the reboot trilogy, he's voiced by Elijah Wood.
Oh.
Or
I met that dude.
At least that's what I've been told. But I've still, as a almost 29-year-old adult, I've only ever played Spyro 1, 2, and 3. I tried the 4th one for like an afternoon. It was bad. I played through about half of the Game Boy Advance one earlier this year for the first time ever. And other than that, I don't fucking know. Like, what if they're great? I know that it's not Spyro 1, 2, and 3, and I shouldn't expect the same experience, especially because that experience, for me, is one that's dripping with nostalgia. But, like, what if they're good? What mysteries is the rest of the Spyro franchise holding? I don't know. But I kind of want to, like, I looked them all up. I looked them all up on eBay, and they're all, like, relatively cheap.
Even the RPG one?
Even the like weird rare ones. I think the RPG was the most expensive one, and the cheapest I found it for was like $25.
Okay.
But they like all go down from there. They were not, these games weren't popular, which in the video game world means that 20, 30 years from its release, it's not going to be worth much.
Right. I have 2 random questions for you.
Sure, yeah.
Do you have your copy of Double Dash, or do I? Because I have a copy of Double Dash. No. Look at it. Look for it later.
Hold on. I don't know.
Okay.
Inconclusive. I think I have.
And your copy of Pokemon Stadium, because I have 2 Pokemon Stadiums.
Pokemon Stadium, the N64 game, right?
Yeah.
I have my copy of that. Yeah.
Okay. Then I have 2.
I always get Pokemon Stadium confused with Pokemon Coliseum. I know they're completely different games, but the titles are very similar.
Yeah.
Because I don't own that game. So if you were asking me if you had my copy of that game.
That's the, like, sequel to it, right?
No. The sequel to Pokemon Stadium was Pokemon Stadium 2.
Right,
Coliseum was an RPG, essentially. But it, like... the difference between, like, Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Ruby and Pokemon Silver and the Coliseum games is that in normal Pokemon games, core Pokemon games, the whole point is, like, you do Pokemon. You go into a bush, you catch a Pokemon, or you don't. You have to get its HP down low, then you can catch it, stuff like that. In Coliseum, it's set up differently. It's not a traditional Pokemon RPG, but on console. It's like you have a specific linear mission you have to go on, and you steal Pokemon from the bad guys.
Oh.
And then you have to, like, de-corrupt them. So there's only a specific amount of Pokemon you can actually catch.
Okay.
And it's sort of like there's a couple of moments in Coliseum where it's like, that guy you just fought had an Apom and you didn't catch it. Therefore, you're fucked and you won't get an Apom for the rest of the game. So it was almost sort of a more traditional RPG experience, and they are beloved, but from what I've heard, they're not as good as core Pokemon games like Sword and Shield and Diamond and Pearl and all that.
I'm not gonna lie, Chelsea and Mason, aka Drizzle and Tsunami, are really making me want to play a Pokemon game.
You should play one, dude. They're good, man.
I need a way to do it. If they brought them all to Switch, I'd play them immediately.
Here's the thing, right? I'm of two minds of this. There's been a rumor for a Game Boy Advanced catalog. If that happens, just wait for that, right?
Yeah.
Because if Pokemon Fire Red is on there, play that one.
Yeah.
But if Fire Red's not on there and like Ruby is on there, just play that one, right? But if that's not going to happen, I'd say get Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because those are remakes of the fourth game. So those are remakes of the first Nintendo DS Pokemon games.
Okay. Are those already on Switch?
Oh yeah. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have been on Switch for a while, because every other core Pokemon game is either Sword and Shield, which I'd argue is a good beginner game, but not the best Pokemon game in my opinion, and those remakes, everything else is a handheld game. So if you're like, I kind of want to play Sun, I'd be like, well, you have to buy a 3DS, and you know.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to play a core Pokemon game, one of the really good ones, is probably downloading Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl.
Okay. I'd be down for that.
I haven't played them, but I've heard good things about them, and like I like the original Diamond and Pearl, so I'm sure they're great.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry, got me
No,
started
that's
about
okay.
Pokemon. You said you had 2 questions for me, and I believe you only asked 1.
No, well, it was.
That's
Double
right.
Dash
That's right.
Yeah. I derailed your week. Do you have anything more you wanted to say?
No, I just wanted to share everything I learned about Spyro, and I didn't want to be like, I love Spyro because this, like, because no one cares. Everyone knows Spyro is good. Everyone's already made their video essay about how Spyro 1, 2, and 3 are classics, and everyone who plays them and falls in love with them and all that stuff.
I put on power saving mode on my phone. I have no clue how to get rid of it. But I'll do it later.
So yes, what have you so you've been busy doing other stuff, so it
does relate to video games. Because
cool.
me and Pauline are building our room. Well, what is half of our room going to be about if not video games?
Okay.
So we built our TV console, which honestly at this point I think I'm just going to make a Thunder and Lightning Cribs episode of our new house.
Yeah, sure.
But
you got to make sure you have like some random dude who just happens to be hanging in your house.
Oh yeah.
You open the door, you're like, I forgot.
It'll be you.
Here. My house is so fucking big. No, it has to be someone we've never met before. It has to be someone random. It's just like, that's my mate Charlie. He's
that's my dude Sea Dog.
That would
He's always here.
Am I right? That would always happen in MTV Cribs, where they open the door. They're like, "Oh, this is the entertainment room." Oh, hey Charlie, that's my man Charlie. He's just fucking around in Tony Hawk. Anyways, there's the entertainment room. Forgot he was here because my house is so damn big. Let's go.
That would be funny because we're in an in-law.
Where you're in like a 1 room, like a 2 room type deal. That'd be very funny. That'd be very funny.
But we built our TV stand, and I connected all the gaming systems. Would you like me to run down the list of gaming systems that we have on there now? There's 2 that could still be connected. All these are ready to play. We actually had enough HDMIs, and with my box, everything is plugged in.
Nice. Your little...
Yeah, my channel switcher for AV cables.
Yeah, the thing I showed you.
Yeah. You didn't answer me, so I will just run them down.
Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
We have PS2, 3, 4, 5, N64, GameCube, and we have a Switch on the way.
You fucker. You were like, GameCube, N64, you paused forever, and then you started your next sentence with the word Wii.
She has her Wii U at home. She's not sure if she should bring it or not.
What is stopping her from,
Well, for one, that would officially be a console that's not connected. We'd have to connect it if we want to play it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would be the extra one that you don't have room for. I see.
We have room for a Switch that we still need to get from her house. And then from there, we may have room for an SNES Classic.
Nice.
And then unless she can do AV cables with her Wii U, then we can totally make it work.
No, you can't. It's an HDMI cord.
Yeah, then we might be.
Here's the thing
screwed.
with the Wii U. As much as I love it, as much as I will defend the Wii U, at this point in time, like, what are you gonna play on your Wii U?
That's what I'm
Mario
saying.
Kart? No. Smash Brothers? No.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Just get the Switch.
And all the if you like tomorrow you find out about this crazy Wii U game where you're like, I would love that. How have I never heard about that? Chances are it's on Switch.
Exactly.
Last time I checked, the only game that didn't make it over from Wii U to Switch that's like a big, huge Nintendo game is Star Fox Zero. Because even Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE made it over to it has a Switch port. In Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, but
if we want that, we can play it here.
Yeah, the only people who like that game are in this room or friends of this podcast.
Yes. Beyond that, though, like I said, we got our pillar. It's a pillar. That now holds all of our movies and games. And
cool.
You want to know a fun fact I found out? I only have 4 physical PS5 games.
The rest are digital?
Yeah. Also, I only have 4 GameCube games right now.
Well, hold on. If you're going to be like, I only have 4, I got to know what 4.
I have Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Fuck yeah.
I have Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay.
I have Guardians of the Galaxy. And I have Spider-Man Miles Morales.
And Chivalry 2?
PS4.
I
also
right.
thought
Got
that.
it.
I'm playing it on the PS5, and I actually put it in the PS5 section, and I was like, oh, shit.
That's a pretty good selection of PS5 games. May I recommend Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart? It was exceptional.
Okay.
If you enjoyed watching me play the original Ratchet & Clank game, the new one is better and shorter, and it looks
cool.
Absolutely incredible. And it's got a cool multiverse plot going on.
That's cool. I have a lot of PS2 and 3 games that I ignored heavily because we just went through these today because we filled up the entire thing.
Yeah.
I also managed to narrow down N64 games that I own that I like to a single row.
Oh, okay.
And then I have a whole row of I may never play these games.
Interesting.
But I own them.
I might if you're looking
Peruse?
if you're looking to
offload.
Yeah, I would
Yeah, well, to be fair, I haven't tried them. I should probably try them before I say fuck this game.
Specifically Star Fox. You have Star Fox 64 and you said you never played it.
I do, don't I?
I think you have 2 copies of Star Fox 64 because I
No.
remember
No? If I own one, because I just looked at them all. If I own one, I only own one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Star Fox 64 is perhaps my favorite N64 game besides Pokemon Snap because that's on another level. But
the only double
that was the only one I remember when I was like, "Oh, have you played this?" You're like, "Nah." I'm like, "What? You own it."
The only double that I have is GoldenEye.
Okay.
And I have a reason. One is a version that I've been trying to 100% my entire life.
Okay.
The other
is
a version that I got at a yard sale that is 100%.
Oh,
so if
okay.
I want to play with
fuck around
everything, I'll play on that one.
Don't you also have 2 copies of Super Mario 64? One that's autographed the fuck up.
I didn't even count that because that's like I'll never play that again.
Right. One of them's literally a brick, basically.
Yeah.
Like
that's
conceptually.
signed by Charles Martin. That's signed by Mario.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also have I have one that I bought just to play. I bought that one just to play after Charles Martinet signed up my other one.
That's what I thought. That's how it was in my my memory.
I also like I said, I have 2 Pokemon Stadiums. So that's like a $40 game. That's cool.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah. So that's my life in video games, is setting all that up. Anyways, on to it's been staring at us the entire podcast. Gaming news. What the this isn't about us. about the world of video games.
I was trying to find a post that I liked that I thought I wanted to show you, but it seems like I didn't like it because I'm not finding it. Anyways, yes. So, Gamescom
Yes.
is technically still happening, but Gamescom opening night live, hosted by who else? Jeff Keighley, the man, the myth, the Dorito Pope himself, Jeff Keighley.
Good.
And it was pretty like, it was pretty middle of the road. Not gonna lie, like there's some stuff that I'm very excited for, and then some other stuff that I was just like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna go over everything real quick.
Lay it on us.
We've done this before. I'm gonna go over absolutely everything, but I'm only gonna stop and talk about a few things here and there.
Sure.
This website is being really weird, so if it keeps doing that, I might find a new one. But I'm gonna go in order of this website, not in of how they were announced. So we got the Callisto Protocol. The people who made Dead Space aren't allowed to make Dead Space anymore, so they're making Dead Space, but it's called the Callisto Protocol.
That keeps happening.
That happened with Ritual of the Night. That happened with Yooka-Laylee. That happened with Mighty Number 9. That happened with Death Stranding, essentially. That keeps happening.
There was another big one, right? Wasn't there? Someone wasn't allowed to make something huge anymore, and they were like, "Okay, well, I'll just make my next game over here."
Yeah, that was.
Else.
I believe you're talking about Death Stranding, because Kojima was going to make Silent Hills.
Yeah. That is what I'm.
Silent Hills was going to be a game directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Norman Reedus, and then 4 months after being sacked by Konami, he was like, "Okay, here's my trailer for Death Stranding, a game produced by Guillermo del Toro, starring Norman Reedus."
Right.
Don't show Konami. But that's happening again. The Callisto Protocol looks fine. I'm not a huge
Fallout.
Did that happen with? Oh, yes, of course. That happened with Fallout.
Yeah.
That happened with the people who made Fallout New Vegas. They made.
Yeah. I think that's what I was. Also
They made
thinking,
the Outer Worlds, which is a confusing title because around the same time a game called The Outer Wilds came out, but that is a different thing. So the Callisto Protocol looks fine. I'm not a huge fan of Dead Space to begin with, but I'm sure people who liked Dead Space will love that game. Sonic Frontiers got a new trailer. Sonic Frontiers is the new Breath of the Wild open world Sonic game. Every trailer until this one has looked pretty bad. This one kind of is hooking me. It had other characters in it besides Sonic. It had some 2D portions, which I did not expect.
Oh, they're taking some Mario Odyssey inspiration.
Well, some Mario Odyssey. Oh, yes, but Sonic did that first in Sonic Generations.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, Sonic Generations, a game that I fucking love, but every time I hear someone else talking about it, they're like, "Oh, what a shitty game." So maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't expect this one to have 2D segments because it's a Breath of the Wild like, essentially. I refuse to give any press to Hogwarts Legacy. Gotham Knights is
They're making a Hogwarts RPG.
but
I know. That's gonna be. I'm gonna be so torn up about that. That's like the perfect game for me. That like.
Best case scenario, this game comes out and it sucks. Everyone hates it. Because
I know.
Because then I'm like, okay,
you
well,
can
at
justify
least
it.
Yeah.
But if this game kicks ass, I'm gonna have a hard time.
That's
sucks.
a moral conundrum for you to figure out.
I know. I mean, it was easy for Chick-fil-A for me, though. I don't know why it's so hard because I love Harry Potter more than I like Chick-fil-A. Anyways, that's an internal struggle I've been dealing with for years now because this game refuses to come out.
Yeah. It's got an official release date, February 10th, 2023. Gotham Knights got a new trailer. Gotham Knights is the new sort of Arkham Asylum spin-off game where you play as the Bat family other than Batman. It got a villain trailer, and the villains that they showed off were Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, and Clayface. They announced, this one was a big surprise, an open-world survival MMO based off Dune called Dune Awakening.
Okay.
That's all the info they gave on that. There was a tiny little cinematic trailer. I want the Hogwarts game, but I'm not giving that woman my money, so GameStop used section it is.
Ooh, that's a smart loophole.
That's a good point. That fucking bitch doesn't get my money if if I buy it from GameStop used. That's a good point.
Very smart. I might have to do that. I would feel so much better.
I didn't I didn't mean to sound like Timmy from South Park, but I sort of did. Anyways, the big reveal at the end was Dead Island 2. I guess there was Mason was in chat.
I just found out I own Dead Island 1. I never knew that.
Okay, so here's what happened. Mason's in chat, right? And he's like, I have to go.
I know Mason.
I have to go, but if they announce any Fable 4 news, let me know. And Jeff Keighley gets up there and he's like, we got one more announcement. It's a sequel for a highly anticipated game that we've all waited for that hasn't gotten a sequel in a while. And I was like, fuck, Mason left too early. And then it was Dead Island 2. I was under the impression that everyone hated Dead Island, that Dead Island 1 is bad and Dead Island Riptide is even worse. I don't know why people are hype about 2. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like and what also sucked was this was the big, like, and here's the last thing. Get ready for this crazy news. Dead Island 2 is the only thing about this press conference that leaked beforehand. So
they were like, oh, man, and everybody already knew. I hear what you're saying.
I like the way this article is set up. So they announced a game called Everywhere that I don't remember hearing about, so I won't talk about it. Clearly it didn't make an impression on me. Oh, that's right. I remember this because it didn't have gameplay. It just had people talking about it. They announced the PlayStation DualSense Edge. There's going to be a PS5 controller that you can customize. I don't know what the fuck. Who gives a shit? Literally, I think it was my dad, but someone in chat was like, what is the difference?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the difference is you can customize the buttons, I guess. Make every button the X button. I don't know.
Silly.
They announced The Lords of the Fallen. This game is going to be called Lords of the Fallen 2, but it's called The Lords of the Fallen. The people who make The Surge, which is a Souls-like that I really enjoy, made a kind of buggy, kind of unplayable game called Lords of the Fallen, and it seems like they're actually going to try with this sequel, so much so that it's a soft reboot, of course changing the name from Lords of the Fallen 2 to The Lords of the Fallen. Popular indie game Moving Out is getting a sequel. So this was interesting because Telltale, the people who make the Walking Dead game and Wolf Among Us and all those games, they fell under, and now they're back, right? So they're making more games.
Yeah.
Telltale is making a game based off the television show The Expanse, and it's just called The Expanse, the Telltale series. And the art style is way different. It doesn't look like an old Telltale game. Meanwhile, people at Gearbox are making a game called New Tales from the Borderlands, which is a direct sequel to Tales of the Borderlands, which was a Telltale game. And this game that's being produced not by Telltale does have Telltale graphics. It's kind of weird, but
okay.
New Tales from the Borderlands is what it's called. Dying Light 2 DLC, no one cares. Tortuga: A Pirate's Life, a turn-based strategy pirate game. First-person shooter called Marauder, set in the alternate 1990s. More Destiny 2. Destiny 2 DLC, that's the term. Quantic Dream, the people who make Beyond Two Souls. Not Beyond Two Souls. Yeah, Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. And they're also making a Star Wars game. They're making another game called Under the Waves. It's an underwater narrative adventure. Goat Simulator 3 is still coming out. I've been informed that there was no 2 because I was like, I don't remember a 2. There wasn't a 2. It's a big fart joke, just like Goat Simulator always has been. Return to Monkey Island got a new release date, and it's like tomorrow. It's September 19th. I'm very excited for that game. The one question I have is if it's
the one question you have.
The one questions I has. I'm already talking like a pirate. I'm so excited for this stupid game. Is if it's a sequel to 4 or if it's like a soft reboot or something.
Okay.
Moonbreaker is the game I really want to talk about. So, what is his name? Brandon Sanderson, the guy who wrote Wheel of Time, the Wheel of Time book series.
Okay.
He is. Let me just read this. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm not even going to talk. I'm just going to read this. Moonbreakers. What is it? A turn-based sci-fi strategy game with paintable digital miniatures
Oh.
in the unknown world setting, collaborating with author Brandon Sanderson. So similar to how George R.R. Martin did some lore for Elden Ring, Brandon Sanderson's coming in. He's doing some lore for this game. It's going to take place, it seems like, in one of the worlds from one of his books. But you fucking play as miniatures that you can completely customize. You can paint every single part of it. I have to show you this trailer at some point because it was like that's incredible.
Yeah,
it just
really
looks
cool.
so much fun, and I can't wait for it.
I wonder how detailed you can get, because you can do different layers of paint and stuff.
From the short trailer I saw, it looks like you can get incredibly detailed. From what I saw, there was this one person who he had like plate armor and then also a pauldron, but the person painting was painting just the arm, and they were able to pick just arm. Like they weren't able to like accidentally paint anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. I'm really excited for that one. It enters early access September 29th, 2022, which is soon, but it's only going to be on early access on Steam. So if it is going to come to console, that's when I'll wait for it. The gameplay itself kind of looked like XCOM or perhaps Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles. So we'll see about that. And then I don't even remember hearing about this. Something called Friends vs. Friends, a competitive card game. Another competitive card game FPS. Gonna save that one for last. Stranded, Alien Dawn looked pretty generic. Atlas Fallen looked interesting. It credits itself as a semi-open world co-op action RPG. Looked kind of like Monster Hunter. Homeworld 3 was announced. Not familiar with this series. Genshin Impact 3.0 is coming out. It's been coming out for a while. The people who make Genshin Impact are making another game called Honkai Star Rail, which is a turn-based strategy RPG, so a little bit of a departure from Genshin Impact. Squanch Games, the people who Justin Roiland's video game company.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
They're making a FPS called High on Life. I don't know if you've seen anything from this, but you hold guns, and all the guns are actual beings that talk to you, and the one gun that they keep showing off just has the voice of Morty from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
It looks odd. If you like Rick and Morty, you'll probably like it. It's coming out on Game Pass December 13th. They're making a competitive multiplayer horror game in the same realm as the Friday the 13th game, based off the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, I did hear about that. The game looked like the
graphics.
The graphics,
yeah, dude,
look incredible.
That trailer got me. I thought they were doing a Nightmare on Elm Street thing, but they're not.
I recently, like in the past year or so, watched that movie for the first time.
Which one?
Killer Clowns from
I've
Space.
still never seen it. Is it like... It's bad, right? That's the whole thing about
bad.
it?
It's bad.
Okay.
I mean, we should watch it, especially for the channel, but it's
okay.
bad.
Yeah, nothing else quite. There was a new trailer for Warhammer 40K Darktide. Just a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this is the Outlast Trials is still coming out. There's a new theme park simulator called Park Beyond. Now I am just skipping around stuff. The big thing that I want to talk about is a game called Lies of P. Have you heard about this yet? Okay. This is a Dark Souls-like.
Okay.
It sort of actually looks more like Bloodborne in its aesthetics. Essentially, you're in London. It's the past, but it's all steampunky and sci-fi, and there you fight demons and stuff. What does the name Lies of P, what is that reminiscent of to you? Who do you think you play as in this video game?
One of the characters from VeggieTales.
Oh, no, so close. You play as Pinocchio.
Oh.
And this game is like a gritty, like steampunk future, streets of London, Dark Souls-like action adventure, except you play as Pinocchio and you have like the blue fairy on like a lantern around your belt, who's essentially just going to be Navi from Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
And the trailer had this like big set piece moment where Geppetto comes and he's like, "My son, I found you." Pinocchio's in the public domain, and there's 4 Pinocchio movies coming out this year, and now we have this fucking video
Are
game.
there really 4 Pinocchio movies? I knew about Disney's.
Yeah, there's Disney's, there's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, there's the one that shitty company made with Pauly Shore's Pinocchio, and then there's a 4th one that I can't remember. And then there's also this video game that's essentially Bloodborne, but what if you played as Pinocchio? They didn't confirm what it was, but they said there's going to be a lying mechanic. So maybe like some Mass Effect style like conversation branches, but if you lie, something happens.
Damn.
In the gameplay. It looks like
that might actually be really cool.
It looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was kind of talking over Jeff Keighley, and like, I should never do that. I should know better than to talk over my queen, Jeff Keighley. But I heard like blah 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 based off the book series, blah blah blah, Pinocchio. What about Dark Souls? And I was like, hello, what? And then the trailer started, and I was like, yeah, this looks like a Soulsborne, like Bloodborne style game. And this is about Pinocchio? That's what Jeff said? And then the whole time I was like, oh no, yeah, this is about Pinocchio. There's the blue fairy. Oh, who's this old? Oh, it's Geppetto. That's who this old man is. Yeah, this is a game about Pinocchio. I'm there. There's so many Souls-like nowadays. Literally 2 days before Gamescom opening night live, we got another trailer for Black Myth Wukong or whatever that game is called, which is another Souls-like that is taking forever to come out. That looks insane, where you play as Sun Wukong. But fuck that one. You play as Pinocchio. He has no strings to hold him down in this new Dark Souls-like adventure.
Was that their saying, or was that yours?
No, that was my saying. They can't legally say that. Disney will full fucking punch him. Disney will get Ultron to beat the shit out of him.
Disney could have a lot of villains beat the shit out of people.
Dude, can you imagine if you like you're actually in Fortnite, right? Fortnite is real and you're in it, and you squad up, and the person you're fighting is like Ultron, Scar,
Darth Vader,
and no, fuck Darth Vader. Ultron, Scar, General Grievous, and who else is just like an Anthrax from Ozzy and Drix or whatever that fucking movie is called. I can never remember the name of the movie, just the TV show. What is that movie called? With not Tom Hanks. With Bill Murray, and he's like in live action, and he's got diarrhea, and then you go into his body and you see what his body's doing.
Oh.
There was a TV show called Ozzy and Drix based off of it.
Oh shit. No. Oh my god. What is wrong with you? Why did you do that?
Hold on.
Why would you say any of that?
It's called Osmosis Jones.
Osmosis Jones. If Pauline was in chat, she would have been. She loves that movie.
She probably would have also called me out for saying that Osmosis Jones was Disney, because it was not Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just the only villain I could think of for some reason. So yeah, that was Gamescom. Like I said, there was some really cool announcements, but like every lukewarm, middle of the road press conference, I had to sit through a lot of like they literally at one point, because you know how Cars is a big meme on these press conferences, like, oh, how long until we're gonna see a car on stage?
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley was literally like, check out this cool ass car, and it cut to him in a different on location site with someone else who's like, yes, I've created the Pokemon car, and it's just like a car based around Pikachu. And like on the outside, it looks like a normal car, but when you get inside, it's like, "Poochow, I'm Pikachu. Fucking, I'm gonna distract you while you drive. I can project the Pokemon, the first movie, onto a wall, but no other movies, because it's a Pokemon car."
What's the point? Like in context with everything else that they're doing that day, was that just was that a filler? Was that to waste time? Did that have anything to do with a game announcement?
No, it didn't.
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. That's what these cars are. Like, that's the thing. See, that's the thing, right? Like, sometimes they'll bring in a car and it's like, all right, well, at least they're talking about the new Forza game. At least contextually it makes sense. He literally, he cut to footage of him, like, the other day that he recorded with the dude that made the Pikachu card. He was like, yeah, it's a car based around Pikachu. You all love Pokemon, right?
Damn.
Speaking of Disney games, Are either of you boys going to be playing their new Stardew Valley type game? Yes, I'm very hesitant with that game. It looks fun. It could be total shit. They're essentially making like Stardew Valley, except not as good, obviously. But it takes place like in Disney. Like, I don't know how else to say. Like, it doesn't take place in Disneyland, but it's just like
that. Oddly makes a lot of sense to me based on the art style and everything I've seen about that game.
Yeah,
I could totally see that
because it doesn't take place at Disneyland or Disney World. It takes place in like you are your own creative character, but your neighbors are like
so wait,
Frozen
you can understand
and Belle
fucking
and
Kingdom Hearts, but you can't understand that concept.
I can't understand Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
Can you understand Kingdom Hearts?
No,
are you able to understand Kingdom Hearts?
Are you the one?
Are you the one I've been waiting for? No,
we found the chosen one.
It's just difficult to explain because it's like it takes place in the universe of Disney. Like if your neighbor was Elsa and Anna, and your other neighbor was Winnie the Pooh,
Shrek.
Not Shrek.
Well, imagine if DreamWorks was part of it.
If DreamWorks made this game, it'd be dog shit because DreamWorks makes terrible video games. There, I said it.
Damn. I don't know. Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
I don't know, man. Shrek 2.
I don't know, man, Shrek 2 is what everyone always says whenever I say DreamWorks makes terrible video games. Yeah, I get it. Shrek 2 is like it's like GTA for babies, but it's good, I guess. And Shrek Super Slam is still played at Evo for some reason. But I want to meet the guy who's like, actually, the Shark Tale game was pretty good. Fuck off. No, it wasn't. Eat shit. Shark Tale's game was not good.
Did you, you said you had one you were waiting for the end?
That was the Pinocchio one.
Oh, okay. That was, I'm not saying that wasn't hype enough. I just didn't know if that was it.
No, that was it. Lies of P. I'm there day one. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna.
Considering how over we went, are we doing our usual final?
Oh, I actually
part?
forgot about that. No, if we could cut right here, I'd be
okay.
Because I'm getting pretty hungry. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, let's plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.